Hey, and welcome back to NanLovesFood. This is Ann here today with meal number 2 in our March Prep and Plan With Me series. This one is the easiest meal. We basically already had prepared this soup when we did our meal prep, which means no fuss, no muss for me today. So I'm just gonna serve this up and show you how I'm putting it together. This is already warm. I just shoved this in here to warm for a few minutes. Ignore the happy baby sounds in the background. So we cooked our pasta separate. This is our ditalini. You can see we've already dug into this. My husband had a bowl last night. So I'm just gonna take like a small handful of the ditalini. It did stick together a little bit, but you can just kind of like massage it apart with your hands, no big deal. And again, we cook this separate because more than likely I'm gonna end up freezing the rest of this. We've both eaten it. We will have both eaten it. And so it's just not gonna be worth keeping in the fridge, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I'll show you my super cool hack for freezing leftover soup here at the end of the video. We have our prosciutto over here. The recipe actually called for pancetta, but I had some prosciutto left over in my freezer. So I'm just gonna grab a couple little hunks of that and throw that in the soup as well as some cannellini beans. Now this is my soup, so I don't mind touching it with my hands. Obviously, you know, in your kitchen, do it. Works best for you. And then finally, we're gonna throw in some bagged spinach. The whole leaves might be a little much, so I'm just gonna take some kitchen shears and like cut this into my bowl. That's just gonna make sure that since we're not actually cooking it, that they get all the way cooked through, and I don't have to worry about too much raw spinach. All right, as you can see, our bowl is almost full already. So we're just gonna pour this delicious kind of soup base over the top. The recipe wants us to mix in a little bit of pesto. I'm using the stuff from a jar, but certainly homemade is delicious. All right, so I gave all of that a stir. So this looks like a hearty, nutritious bowl of soup. And as you can see, it only took me a moment to throw together. I'm gonna throw some pecorino romano on top. And here we have our finished product. Let's give this a taste. That's so good. It just feels so hearty and nourishing, you know? A perfect way to wait out the last cold days of winter. So as promised, here is my little hack for cooking soup perfectly. So we cooked the pasta and we put the beans separate so that that wouldn't be in the mix, because those two items don't freeze and reheat particularly well in soup, but this broth is just gonna be perfect. So these are super cubes. They're a little spendy, but I just asked for them for Christmas one year, so you know, if that's an option. But these are just silicone, like giant ice cube trays. This is the 1 cup variety. And so you just fill up each of these individual portions and then you can freeze them. Once they are frozen, you can pop these out, wash this, and then reuse it for whatever, and just throw your popped out little soup ice cubes into a freezer bag. So I have 2 of these. For us, that's plenty, but this just makes freezing soups and sauces and like mac and cheese just to have like a little 1 cup's worth. That's awesome. Because sometimes you just need a little something, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and put the rest of the soup in here so I can enjoy it later this winter. That's all I have for today. If you haven't already watched the prep for this video, make sure to go ahead and check that one out. And meal 3 for March will be coming out shortly, so make sure you're subscribed for that one. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Bye.